What's up guys, this is Rise and welcome to another video where I've got another Kanto Cup video for you, and we are showcasing a team similar to the last team I showed, but this time replacing Mew for Lickitung, and I've found some really nice success with this team. You guys know, those that have been watching the channel for a while know that Mew is one of my favorite Pokemon to use. And I find it pairs really well with these two mons because the most common Pokemon I'm seeing in the Kanto Cup are Alolan Grimer, Hypno, and Lickitung. And this team has two answers for all those Pokemon. Muck is a core breaker, beats all three of those. Primeape beats, well, I guess Primeape only beats the Lickitung, but it has Night Slash, so a little bit of play, at least against Hypno and Marowak, where you can like lure it out on the swap and then do enough chip damage where you might even force a shield, and then or get a big farm down with any of these other two Pokemon. And also, if I catch a Hypno or an Alolan Marowak in the lead and my opponent switches out, I don't necessarily need to switch out with this team. And also, I'm not as weak to fighting anymore because my last team was pretty weak to a fighter lead, and this team less weak to a fighter lead because I've got Primeape as a neutral answer, Muck not a great, probably weak to fighting with Snarl, but at least has some play with that Sludge Wave access, and then Mew is pretty good against most fighters unless it's like a normal type fighter or a dark type fighter, but there's no Scrafty, there's no Vigoroth, there's no Obstacle in the Kanto Cup. So all that said, I didn't really get to showcase that first game, so we're on to the next one. I swapped my Mew. In comes an Alolan Grimer. Very cool. This is not great for Mew, but I am going to shield because I do have an energy lead, so I should potentially be able to get a shield back here. Build up as much as I can before going over 100 energy. And I'm going for a Wild Charge here. Wild Charge lands, and this puts it into Surf range. So I'm just going to go straight for the Surf, try and take Switchback if I can. Surf coming through, gets the shield. Okay, very nice. They get to a move, and I realize I can probably aggressively snarl this down and come out with just a boatload of energy. So that's what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to have to take a move here in the process, but I'm going to probably get a shield with all this energy. Potentially Sludge Wave something, Dark Pulse something. And they aggressive swap in their Nidoqueen. And I'm like, this is perfect. This is perfect. My Primeape is going to avoid this. Oh, Nidoking! Sorry! Shadow Nidoking! Oh my gosh. I just saw the typing there. Unbelievable. They let it go. Shadow Nidoking. And then the Blastoise comes back. I'm just going to throw this Dark Pulse right away, because if he lets it go, I can probably just go straight counter. Or if he shields like he did, then I can just go for the close combat, and it should be a GG's. I sneak in the counter. Little worried about a potential catch here. That would be really bad. But we're fine. Throw the close combat. And this will be plenty to take out Blastoise. Primeape hits so hard. And close combat is such a hard-hitting move as well, so especially with that stab damage bonus. Primeape putting in some work. Muck versus Dewgong. We've got Dark Pulse coming in here. Might get a shield from the Dewgong. I like to throw it before they Icy Wind me, because sometimes people like to shield prior to the debuff. I aggressive swap in my Mew. I'm going straight for the Wild Charger, which is kind of risky, because if he shields and CMP ties me, boom, that would have been bad, but luckily we're able to take it out. This, though, is not good. This Wigglytuff is going to cause us a lot of issues right now. I'm like, oh, crap. How am I going to win this game? Because Muck's already been chipped from that Icy Wind. And, man, going for the Sludge Wave here. And I didn't think a Charm snuck in there, so I swap. But Yeah, no, it looks like a Charm didn't sneak in. No, I just didn't get to the close combat. I remembered it as, oh, like somehow a charm snuck in, did extra damage, but a charm didn't sneak in. It just charmed me down before I even reached the close combat. Normally that doesn't happen. So normally I get to that close combat with a few HP. So maybe it's like a high attack Wigglytuff. That probably makes sense. Like a 15 attack Wigglytuff, because then it might do like 1 more damage per charm. And we go on to the next one. So now when I see Dewgong leads with this team, I typically will switch out like either directly into Mew or directly into Primeape. Depending how I'm feeling on the day. And yeah, I do run Surf Wild Charge on Mew. I feel like it's probably the best coverage, even in the Kanto Cup. You do see quite a few fire types. You occasionally will see water types and flying types, so I think Surf Wild Charge is probably the best. Our opponent swaps in a Hypno, and I'm like, what on earth is going on? What did they eat for breakfast? Going for a Wild Charge, bang. Going for another Wild Charge, like Mike Breen, bang. Take out the Hypno. Can we get to a Surf here? No, we can't. I tried to save the Mew, but wasn't able to. I'm a little worried about an overheat here, but fortunately it's just a weather ball. And because we got rid of the Hypno, I'm hoping that Primeape is going to have play against whatever's in back. So I take both. I get off this Dark Pulse to potentially take it out or get the last shield. What's going to be in back? Oh, it's a Alolan Buck with Snarl. This is terrific for us. So we get a shield, or he gets our shield rather. He does bait us with Dark Pulse, but it's not going to matter because he still is 1 Snarl away. So no bait was necessary here. No bait was necessary. My lose count actually would have been to Night Slash and him call it. So that's an example of a game where it's really important to know your counts, because I bet there's a lot of people that might have like thought they needed to bait there when baiting was unnecessary. They swap in a Poison Jab Muck, and I'm like, okay, this isn't ideal. I go straight for the close combat. Will it land? Boom! Look at that. Land the close combat straight away. People don't think you want to like debuff yourself so early. Oh god, here comes Machamp. So I'm going to come in right away with Mew while he's still switch locked. I know I'm probably going to get baited here. But I don't really want to risk it. Rock Slide would do a lot, or if he could be a crazy person and like payback me with shields up. That'd be insane. I get a shield back with the Surf. And now this is like Rock Slide range, so I kind of have to shield this. Yeah, I thought about it, but I do shield in the end. In comes the Mew once again. I am going to Wild Charge here. We do a lot of damage. They take it knowing that Dark Pulse would do more than the Wild Charge, so smart play by him. I do shield this, or I do throw this Dark Pulse eventually to get the last shield. Move coming through here from Mew. It's a Wild Charge. Does he have a second one? He does. He's got 2 moves. So he's able to take me out, but it does give me 1 Shadow Claw of energy. And we Shadow Claw down before Machamp is able to get to another move. That was awfully close, though. I think that Machamp was probably only like 2 counters off. Muck versus Dewgong. Let's see if I play this one any differently after the Wigglytuff swept our last team the way we played the last time. I would say Dewgong leads can be very tricky. Because sometimes they'll debuff what you switch in and then farm you down with something, and then they've just got so much energy, you're in a terrible spot. I go straight for the Wild Charge here once again. So I'm kind of playing it the same way, actually, that I played last time. And once again, they let it go. In comes a Hypno, which I thought was crazy. I let in a free confusion, so bad timing there by me. I thought he might throw his punch right away, considering I had already been debuffed. And I'm actually going to shield this, because I'm like, if he comes in with a Hypno here, maybe he really is weak to Mew. Doesn't want to see a Mew with whatever's in back. And it's... Oh, no. Rise. Rise, baby. What are you doing? I throw this game. So, yeah, pretty bad mistake. Coming in with the Muck, I just gave him so much free energy. And no counter through either. Cross Chop takes out a big chunk. No counter again. Ugh, you're killing me. Double denial from the Machamp. So we don't get to the Night Slash. And then the Machamp just counters down our entire team. So the big mistake there was obviously I swapped into my Muck when I should have swapped into my Primeape. I don't know why. I don't really have an explanation for you. Just a pretty bad misplay. Because the Primeape and the Machamp pretty much will just like cancel each other out. And swapping in my Muck, even though I got the shield, gave him so much energy that the Machamp ended up just sweeping the rest of the team. So yeah, that's what went wrong there. Bad decision by your boy. Muck going for the Dark Pulse. Gets a shield. Interesting. I know he's only going to get to one move here, so I'm definitely going to shield this. And he goes straight for the Earth Power. In comes Licky. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm predicting he's double weak to counter. So I'm actually gonna... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say stay in. But no, I sludge and then I come in here. Going for a Night Slash here. I want to get this off before another Body Slam comes in. It does take out Licky. In comes Poison Jab Muck. This is scary. I go straight for the close combat here. Probably going to get a shield, but no! Bang, bang! A knockout punch from Primeape. And we don't have to reveal our Mew in back. That was a funny one. Not sure why he didn't bother shielding. Yeah, kind of strange. Muck versus Hypno, terrific lead. Perhaps he was just like one off in his count and he's like, that can't be a close combat, can it? And yep, it was. We swapped the Primeape into Snorlax. The tough thing here is there probably is a Lickitung in back, is what I'm thinking. Night Slash. Boom. I am barely able to counter down before going down, which is great. Because now I can get off this Night Slash against the Hypno and also give him less farm. Come in with Muck right away while he's still switch locked. I got the refund there. I tapped the move. Sometimes that happens. I know people have been asking when I use the term refund, like what that means. Sometimes you tap your move and they switch, like they catch, and it doesn't register. So I don't know why it happens sometimes and why it doesn't happen sometimes. It's kind of weird. We got a shield from that last Dark Pulse, even though it didn't show visually. I built the Sludge. I go for a Dark Pulse here. Will it land? It does land. And I'm actually just going to force the Lickitung to throw its energy here. Do I shield this? I do. I have the Dark Pulse. I might as well get it off. Force the last shield here. And Muck has put in enough work. Oh, he actually lets it go. Wow. Yeah, he was not expecting another Hypno counter in back. I get baited, just a little scary. And I'm like, oh crap. This could be a Shadow Ball. There's the Shadow Ball. Uh-oh. And we simul KO. I recognized really late there that like we were gonna simul KO, so I didn't need the surfs, but also could have from the surf because I did have over 2 surfs, so that would have been fine as well. Muck versus Lapras. Pretty neutral matchup. I build up the Sludge and go for Dark Pulse because I know I need 2 moves anyway to KO because like Sludge Wave doesn't one-shot, so I might as well just go for the double Dark Pulse. Surf comes through. I aggressive swap, and look at this. This happens sometimes when you safe swap Mew. I'm pretty sure people see the psychic typing, and they assume it's a Hypno, and they immediately come in with their AWAC. But with a Shadow Claw head start, this is a pretty good matchup for Mew. If they do bait with Bone Club, it becomes less good. The AWAC can win, but he goes straight for the Shadow Bone, so that's really good for us. Another Surf coming through here. Surf takes out Whack, so we take Switch. What's going to come in? Is it going to be Lapras again? It is. I try and CMP tie here if I can. Go straight for the Wild Charge. And boom! Get out of here, Lapras. Oh no! Oh no! Heartbreaker. Huge mistake by me. I thought I would reach the Surf and I didn't, but also you'll notice. Let's see if I got the pause here. I rewind a little bit. The way I remember this, I thought I did lag a little bit. It was hard to notice there. Watch real closely. Oh, it's so hard to tell because it's sped up to 150%. Yeah, so like we've already done damage. They've already done damage to us before we've done damage to them. So there's like a quick desync. So we actually had the Surf, and we've gotten the shield there. But because of the desync, that last Poison Jab registered before our Surf got off, but they're the same duration move. Both Shadow Claw and Poison Jab are both a 2-turn fast move. So it's crazy how a half second of lag, which has been occurring quite frequently, unfortunately, can cause so many issues. I have to swap in Ape here. Don't get a move through, unfortunately. I have to take this first Poison Fang because the second one's going to do way more. And I don't sneak in a counter again. Oh, and he actually gets to a third. Wow. Lots of energy. So, the lag did cost us that game. We would have won without it. But in order to have avoided that from happening, I also could have swapped to clear my debuff and might have been able to win. But honestly, I'm not sure if that would have helped because let's say I swap Muck or if I swap Primeape. Like, if I swap Muck, they might just Poison Jab all the way down, take a move or shield the move, and then they just sweep me anyway. But that would have been the better play for sure. And if I swap Primeape, they for sure just Poison Fang and then farm down and then win anyway, so unfortunate. Muck versus Beedrill. Beedrill's a pretty good core breaker for this team. It beats all three of these Pokemon, but you run into a core breaker, sometimes you gotta try and play around it. I go straight for the Dark Pulse. I throw right away on alignment, which I don't recommend, but in this situation, I wanted to get it off before he got off the drill run. And I sneak in a Snarl. Niantic making up. Because I've already landed this, I'm not gonna bother shielding. And he catches, but on his AWAC, so that's perfectly fine with me. I come in with Mew, and up a shield. Mew's going to have a great time here. I am going to respect the Shadow Bone, even though I know he might bait here. He goes straight for it. Oh, interesting. Okay, I go for a CMP tie, but that's kind of risky farming up that much. Because he could have theoretically shielded and then gotten my second shield. I go straight for the Surf here. Probably could have Shadow Clawed down. No way. It would have got to a move. And there's a Raticated back. So this is just pretty much game over at this point. Because we still got a Primeape. I Wild Charge, I dip. And our opponent's like, yep, it's over. They surrender. Poor Alolan Raticate. Met by a Primeape. Poor little fella. And we're on to the next one. Muck versus Nito. I typically throw around here. It's great to get off your moves before you let your opponent get off their moves if you can. This is always a tough call. People do like to bait here, but luckily they don't bait. They went straight for it. In comes a Dewgong. I was a little slow to switch. You could argue I should have Dark Pulsed first, to be honest. And I think in that quick second, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Like, Primeape is dead weight anyway against the Nido, so I might as well just kind of sack it and use it here. But also, he's probably double weak to counter, because people run these Nido double weak to counter teams to lure out the counter user, farm it down with Nido, and then just tap to victory. Nido probably comes back in to jab down. I Dark Pulse right away to most likely get a shield here. I get the shield. I didn't think this was enough for an Earth Power. Oh, never mind, I did. Rise giving false commentary with what he was thinking. And now I'm hoping I get a shield here. I do get a shield. That's huge, because now I can swap in my Mew. And we actually get to the Skull Bash and the Wild Charge here at the same exact time. I CMP tie. And because it's a Shadow, that will one-shot from that range. And we get to the Surf as well. So, we've seen Machamp sweep our team, but this time Mew is sweeping the opponents, at least two of their Pokemon. And gets a nice win there. There we go. Coming back. And I think we've got one more battle. Muck versus Sandslash. So here, I typically go Mew right away. And look, they did it again. Maybe they knew it was a Mew, because it is a Hex Marowak. But I swear, when I swap Mew, so many people will swap in their AWAC, because I think they like the AWAC Hypno matchup, even though it's not like a super comfortable matchup for AWAC. But it's a fairly comfortable matchup, because you do outpace the Hypno. But this is a little scary. If he double baits us, he will be able to win this. But at this point, just definitely going to shield. And now we've taken back Switch, and we're going to have our Primeape aligned with the Sandslash, which is going to be amazing. I allow him to throw his Ice Punch first, because I don't want to debuff myself. Oh god, it almost KO'd anyway. Get off the Wild Charge. Bang, do a lot of damage. This is going to come down to whatever's in back. It's a Pidgeot. Oh god. I'm not sure we win this. Pidgeot is it's a very good answer to our team. Brave Bird's going to come in here. And Brave Bird one-shots our Muck. And we lose. If I had baited Night Slash on the Pidgeot there, I think I win. But because I went straight for the close combat, I didn't have enough energy to get to the Night Slash. So a 50-50 call. I made the wrong one. And yeah, Pidgeot, probably one of the worst things you can see in the back for this team. Certainly has given me a lot of trouble. I typically don't beat teams that have Pidgeot in the back, just because both Primeape and Mew struggle against it. I'd say I've probably won maybe like 2 out of however many times I've seen it. Maybe like 2 out of 8 times I've seen Pidgeot in the back. But overall, I've climbed a lot of elo with this team. I was in a bit of a rut, which I don't like saying at like my elo, because I don't want it to sound off as like, oh, I fell all the way to 3,100, when some people are like, their goal is to hit 2,300. So I don't mean to sound like that, but for me personally, and like my goals, I was in a bit of a GBL rut where I fell down to 3,100, and I'm back up in the 3,400s by running this team. So I do encourage you to use it. It's been very successful for me, and I hope it's the same for you if you do try it out. Mew also probably a little bit more accessible than Lickitung. Like, Mew's not accessible by any means, because you've only got 2 you can possibly have. But Lickitung is a lot of grinding, versus Mew was just like, you only have it from the research. So I guess they're both like different ways of non-accessible. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Comment anything you'd like down below. All comments help the YouTube algorithm. And all that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.